Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is FiveXFive and I'm Simo. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click like and subscribe to this video and all the other videos. I wanted to get back into the swing of things by starting with a radar episode. One of my first episodes when I started the channel was a radar episode. The idea behind these are pretty simple, just what am I paying attention to, what am I looking forward to, and what am I enjoying right now, whether it's TV shows or movies. So the first radar episode was during the winter holidays. I meant to do a radar episode during the pandemic, but without having a way to recharge my laptop, that wasn't going to happen. So I'm back, and our next radar episode is going to be a summer radar episode. What is on my radar for this summer? And that's why we're here. So I'm just going to start at the very top. What is on my radar right now is Stargirl. It premiered on, I guess, HBO Max and the CW network. It's another Berlanti produced TV show like Arrow and The Flash and all that. But it's been given a higher budget, and it was produced exclusively for the HBO Max platform and the DC Universe streaming service platform. So it's a higher quality show, and it stays much truer to the actual character and the source comics. So it's absolutely at the top of my radar right now. I think I've seen the first 5 or 6 episodes, and this show is fantastic. I can't stress enough. I'm going to be covering it, so I won't get into too much more now, but it's absolutely my favorite superhero show right now. And beyond being my favorite, it's probably one of the best ones on TV right now as well. It's everything Supergirl should have been, and that I would say fans hoped it would have been, but didn't turn out to be. So Stargirl is what Supergirl should have been. The next thing on my radar has to be Deathstroke. Who knew? CW seed, the animation wing of the CW network, they released a few shorts in the past, but they also recently released a Deathstroke sort of mini movie. It seems to set up a series that they have planned, I guess, coming down the pipes, and it was surprisingly really good. I wasn't aware of it, and it came out of nowhere, but I checked it out. It's fantastic. It's definitely worth your time, and it's good. It diverges from the more recent DC animated movies, so it's not going to be using the Phil Bourassa Young Justice art style. It uses Bruce Timm's art style, but maybe a little bit darker version of that art style. So it's more in keeping with Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. It's definitely being connected more to that original Bruce Timm universe. It's very mature in tone though, so if you're looking for something that's light, this is probably not it. It's pretty graphic, it's pretty violent, but what else would you expect from a Deathstroke-centered show, right? So also worth your time. Check it out too. Now, the next thing on my radar is something that has already kind of come and gone. I was following Clone Wars before I lost my power supply, and I do plan to do a full proper review of the last few storylines. But if you haven't checked out the finale season of Clone Wars, it hasn't been out that long that you should forget about it. It was still fantastic. It is worth your time. And my God, the ending was like impressive and heartbreaking and emotional, and the entire experience. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. The next thing on my list is animated again. Justice League versus the Fatal Five. This came out a few months ago. I guess it came out during the pandemic and during quarantine, when things had just started to get scary. And it's another completely animated show, well, movie, again, done in the Bruce Timm art style, so Justice League Unlimited, Batman the Animated Series. It picks up in the same continuity. It's, again, very mature in tone, but it picks up the Justice League Unlimited continuity, so it's kind of like an extended movie in the same universe as that show. It was really good, also worth your time. Check it out. The next thing on my list is Justice League, I guess, Darkseid War. It came out a few weeks ago. I'm not gonna lie, I did not enjoy this movie. I haven't enjoyed any of the DC movies that have come out in recent years that were based on the New 52 comic continuity. I just hate the continuity from the comics completely. I'm absolutely not a fan, and any of the spiraling storylines that kind of spin off of that, they don't appeal to me. They're just based in a continuity that just doesn't speak to me as a fan. But that said, it's not a bad movie, and I know that if you are a fan of the DC animated movie universe that has kind of evolved over the last few years from that New 52 continuity, if you're a fan of that, you're probably going to like this movie. And if you're a fan of, in general, the Zack Snyder version of superheroes, you're probably going to enjoy this movie as well. It does borrow heavily from the plans that Zack Snyder had for the DC cinematic universe, and you get a sneak peek of what he would have delivered if he had control of the movies and didn't step away from it. So take that how you like it, but it is a good movie. It just depends on what you're into and your version of the heroes and the characters that are involved in the movie. If it aligns with your vision of these characters, then you'll enjoy it, and if it doesn't, you'll probably be like me and you'll be like, not so much. The next thing on my radar is Doom Patrol Season 2. It is launching on June 25th, and I am super excited about it. The original first season came out before I had a channel, so I couldn't review it, but this show took me completely off guard. It was incredible from very beginning to very end. I'm not a huge Doom Patrol fan, but I was aware of Doom Patrol. They're a pretty long-standing series of comics in the DC universe, but they're kind of a niche set of characters because they're pretty bizarre and out there. So I was aware of them, and I wanted to just check out this show because I wanted to give sort of DC shows a chance, and I was completely stunned by how well done this show was. It's absolutely worth your time. The first season was incredible, and season 2 is now launching in just a few days, like I said, June 25th. So I am planning to cover that show and do videos on that show, and we'll see how that goes. But check it out. The next thing on my radar coming up is The Boys Season 2. You're a fan of that really dark, edgy, angsty superhero interpretation. The Boys Season 1 was probably a gift to you, wrapped up in a little bow. I also liked the show, but I liked it because it was completely unique characters. I liked it because it had nothing to do with DC characters, for example, who I think tonally would be a bad fit for that type of show. That's another topic for another time. So The Boys Season 1 was fantastic, and it was everything for adult, mature superhero audiences. And Season 2 is coming. The exact date hasn't been announced yet. I guess because of the virus, a lot of things have been pushed back here and there. The Boys Season 2 it seems to be one of those that's kind of trapped in it. When it gets announced, when the actual air date and release date gets announced, I will let you know, but keep it in mind, it's coming up soon. It should be over the next couple months. The next thing on my list is Discovery, Star Trek Discovery Season 3. It's another one. The dates have been pushed around a bit. As soon as I have a date for it, I will let you guys know. It is also worth your time. I kind of was like iffy on the first season of Discovery, but I really enjoyed Season 2. I'm looking forward to Season 3. So keep that in mind too. Like I said, when I have a date, I will let you know. I would be irresponsible if I didn't let you know about the Marvel shows that are coming. A lot of them have had their dates shifted around also because of the pandemic. So keep that in mind. Winter Soldier and Falcon is coming on the Disney streaming service, Disney Plus streaming service. It's slated for August sometime. When I have the exact date, I'll let you know. It looks good. If you're a fan of either of those characters, you're probably going to want to check that out. The next thing on the Marvel list of characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's coming out is going to be WandaVision. That's planned for December. Of course, that features Scarlet Witch and the Vision. And it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Loki has been pushed back to 2021, so fans of Loki are going to have to wait a little bit still. And the next thing on the list that you have to pay attention to, that you should be ready for, it's still a ways out, but it's slated for October, this coming October. That's The Mandalorian Season 2. You have to have that on your list. And a surprise, or maybe not so much of a surprise if you were following the news, entertainment news that would be, Rosario Dawson is rumored to be cast as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2, probably as like a recurring character. But Disney also announced, or maybe it was a leak, I'm not really sure, that there was going to be a live-action Ahsoka series spun off of The Mandalorian. So no details on when that's coming, but it is coming down the pipe. That's probably much further out, though. I don't think we should expect to see that probably until next year. But keep it in mind, live-action Ahsoka Tano TV show, I'm there for it. I bet most of you are too. Now getting back into more like movies, I was really looking forward to Wonder Woman 1984. It has been postponed a couple times. It has now been pushed back to October 2nd, just in time for my birthday, which is October 3rd. Not that you guys care. But I'm going to be watching Wonder Woman 1984 for my birthday, and I'm excited about that. You should be too. It's Wonder Woman. She's a goddess, literally. See what I did there? All right. Sorry. I'm so sorry. The next thing on my radar is The New Mutants. This movie, I was not excited for this, but I have to admit the last couple trailers, or the final trailer, made me a lot more interested in the movie. It looks like it's going to be pretty decent. I'm a fan of the horror genre, and of course, I was an X-Men fan as a kid, so I'm interested. But Fox X-Men movies are not really too great. So this one has been apparently cleaned up a little bit by Disney, and the release date has been moved around a little bit. So it is now slated for the end of August 28th. So if you're an X-Men fan, if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, and if you're a New Mutants fan, you'll probably want to have that on your radar and be aware of it too. Keep it penciled in. The date might still move around, and of course your local pandemic restrictions might prohibit it from even being released. So I'll try to keep people aware if I have any other updates, if anything changes, but check your local restrictions too based on where you are. It seems like some parts of the world have completely reopened while others are still very much stuck in stay-at-home orders. So something to keep in mind. The next thing on my radar is the Black Widow movie. It has been pushed back also because of the pandemic, but it has been pushed back to November 20th. I want to say, I'm sorry, November 6th. I'm getting confused. November 6th, Black Widow. Looks great. I mean, who doesn't like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow? And this is probably the last time we're going to get to see her in these movies. So we'll see. So keep that in mind, November 6th. And then the final thing on my radar is Pixar's Soul. It's from the same people that brought you Up and all that, right? So if you're not aware of it, it's another great movie. Pixar animated, 3D animated movie that's been planned, that I've been looking forward to for a while. It is coming November 20th. That's what I got confused with earlier. So November 20th, mark it on your calendars. Assuming everybody's open and we all go back to theaters and don't all die, November 20th, Pixar Soul. So that is it for my radar for now. I will do more updates later, and I will get into videos for reviews over the next few days as well, and I'll start uploading new content as soon as possible. In the meantime, thank you everybody. If you're not already a subscriber, click like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please take care of yourself. Check your local pandemic restrictions. Take care of each other. I'll see everybody soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.